This is the Lincoln Corsair. It replaces the MKC for the 2020 model year. It's based on the Ford Escape and competes with compact SUVs like the Mercedes GLC and Acura RDX. All those other crossovers use letters and numbers. Lincoln is naming every car in its lineup like it's out exploring the high seas. Centuries ago, a Corsair wasn't a crossover starting at $36,000. Corsairs were mercenaries of the Mediterranean, pirates hired by the Ottomans and Europeans to destroy and loot each other's ships. Corsairs weren't gentle guys, neither were their ships, but Lincoln wants to redefine that term to mean quiet sanctuary. Can the Corsair bring the war to Cadillac and Lexus? Or should you go out and raid your local BMW dealer? Dare to join me on this drive? We'll find out. In the present day, Lincoln is a luxury division of Ford. But look around. Where's the Ford Escape? It's nowhere. I'm looking at this taillight strip and thinking Porsche Cayenne. Don't start hating. This is a rare SUV that looks as good, if not better from the back than it does in front. Now, like the Audi Q5, the Corsair has a tailgate that's a single-piece clamshell design. It's cutting around the taillights instead of in between them. That's a really expensive thing to do. The roofline has just enough rake, but it ends on a nice clean edge, like a Land Rover. The ride height is low and sits tight on these 20-inch wheels. The front end is distinctive. Not as blingy as a Genesis GV80, but it has plenty of chrome sparkle. I thought the MKC was handsome. Next to the Corsair, not so much. Here we go. Audi and BMW, they don't provide this level of detail. This wood right here, it's curved behind the touchscreen in this leather dash. All these rectilinear shapes for the air vents play against sweeping curves on the doors with leather. Oh yeah, the leather's good. It's sourced from the same supplier as Aston Martin. The steering wheel with this contrasting half circle, these chrome toggle switches, and most of the switchgear, including this push-button gear selector, are unique to Lincoln. Check out the headlight switch, or how these icons appear only when you switch on the cruise control. You won't find that in a Lexus or even an Infiniti. The lower portions of these doors, they should be padded, and Lincoln covered the center console with black plastic. It should match the wood, and the touchscreen should be wider to match that rectangular theme. But Lincoln offers 5 color combos with 2 tones, including a dark blue with light wood. And you won't find front seats with more adjustments than these. They move in 24 different ways, including thigh extensions and massages. Cargo space is on the small side at 28 cubic feet, or 58 with the seats folded. The rear seats manually recline and slide. That means lots of legroom. It feels special inside the Corsair. The Sync 3 infotainment system is here just as it is in other Ford models, but it's just as good. Simple interface, easy to use. These shortcut buttons can switch on cameras, find parking spaces, and adjust the driver assist. The digital instrument panel needs more features. You can't show maps, some of the info is too crowded, and while I like seeing these animations, it's slow. But the head-up display is massive and even shows turn signals and the outside temperature. More cool features. That door chime is a recording from the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. The Lincoln logo projects here on the center console, and you can use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Waze, and other apps. The driving experience feels less special. The Corsair is only mildly engaging, like a Lexus NX, and even with my car's adaptive dampers, you won't feel a major difference among the drive modes. On long cruises, the Corsair is ultra comfortable. It'll handle curves, but that's not really its mission. Now, acceleration, it's pretty strong. The Corsair offers 2 turbocharged 4-cylinder engines. Standard is a 2-liter with 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Optional is the 2.3-liter I'm driving with 295 horsepower and 310 pound-feet. Both engines come with an 8-speed automatic transmission, but the 2.3 is only available with all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive is standard on the Corsair 2.0. It feels like Lincoln put more effort into its semi-automated driving feature called Copilot 360 Plus. The lane centering on marked highways is excellent. It moves the wheel almost as precisely as I would, and while I'm keeping my hands on the wheel, it's always yelling at me to steer. All these systems have issues right now. You'll also get some clunky shifting when moving from low speeds, but otherwise, the transmission is quick to respond. Don't use the paddle shifters. If you do, well, it gets really noisy. I can barely even hear myself, but what I'm trying to say is that BMW builds the best four-cylinder engines. This Ford engine is no pinnacle of refinement. Soon, there will be a Corsair plug-in hybrid called the Grand Touring. It'll be quieter for sure. That's all I can tell you for now, so for more information, check out CarGurus.com. Fuel economy on this Corsair is just adequate. The EPA rates my test car at 21 miles per gallon city, 28 highway, and 24 combined. The smaller engine is almost the same. I've been averaging 22 miles to the gallon. CarGurus recommends going easy on the options. My Corsair is the reserve trim that's ticketed for $59,415 with destination. The problem with the Corsair is that it's just as expensive as its competitors, sometimes more so. So you should get a Corsair with a smaller engine, all-wheel drive, and the Reserve 1 package to get the upgraded stereo and the driver assist. Skip the fancy seats and the head-up display. If you stick around 50 grand, you're gonna get a much better deal. The 2020 Lincoln Corsair can get very pricey next to a BMW X3 or the Mercedes GLC. You could buy a larger Lexus RX with a big V6 for the same money. But this Lincoln has a lot of style. Inside and out, it's very unique and sumptuous. For full details, read my review at CarGurus.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.